A pleasure to be joined on the show by a veteran of over 900 NHL games, a three-time Stanley Cup champion and Olympic gold medalist, and I will stop short at calling him the pride of Thunder Bay because it might upset Carter Hutton. Patrick Sharp, welcome to the show. How's it going?
It's going good. Thank you. Good to be with you guys. Hut's doing a great job representing T-Bay. I love it.
Well, we're working on it, Patty, so it's obviously appreciate you joining us here.
Yeah, no problem. I heard you talking about Flyers in your trick segment. You got Danny Vladar, tires pumped. Thank you for that. Well deserved on Vladdy's part.
Yeah, it's been good so far. So honestly, how has the transition been for you from, you retire, right? And then you get into media and now you're with the Flyers. How does that transition happen? And where are you at now? Like, what are you doing exactly day to day with the Flyers?
Yeah, good question. I retired maybe 7-8 years ago now. It's creeping up there. It's been a while, and I've been able to take advantage of a lot of great opportunities that came my way. Started with the television side of things, met some friends, met some great connections there. Did some work with the Blackhawks where I spent the bulk of my playing career. And then these past 3 seasons, I've been working more in like a player development role with the Philadelphia Flyers organization. And it's funny how things work out. I've known Danny Briere for a long time, obviously competed against him in the NHL for a bunch of years. And the team president of the Flyers, Keith Jones, was the guy that basically taught me everything I needed to know as best he could about the broadcasting side of things. And so I got to sit with Keith Jones for a couple of years, learn that side of it. And now I'm working for him and Danny in a player development role. And basically what it means is I'm learning how to be a coach. I'm trying to be a mentor to our young prospects. I get to work with our Phantoms players. Both coaching staffs with the Flyers and Phantoms have been terrific in allowing people like myself to hang around, absorb as much as we can, contribute when we can. And it just feels great in the role that I'm in. I love being on the ice with the younger kids. I love tracking their progress during the season. I'll fly out, drive wherever to go catch them play, make sure everything's okay. And I'm a part of a great staff. Riley Armstrong is the player development director. And we got a bunch of former players on the staff. John LeClaire, another Vermont guy like myself, is working alongside me. Chris Stewart, Sam Moran. We got Mark Recchi joined us this year in spurts. So it's been a lot of fun going to work every day.
Now that you've kind of been doing it for a few seasons, do you have the coaching itch a little bit? Like, could you see yourself like going behind a bench one day, or do you just like where you're at?
I got a lot of respect for coaches. I'll say that. There's a lot going on. I've kind of, I would say, focused mostly on the forwards role in a game, mostly the power play. But to be one of these coaches in pro hockey these days, every detail is covered. A lot of video, a lot of teaching, a lot of preparation. And we got 2 great staffs, 3 when you count our Reading Royals staff as well, who's off to a great start in the East Coast League. So to answer your question, I don't know. Maybe one day. I just enjoy learning the process now and helping the Flyers however I can.
Patty, obviously it's a transition, right? I feel like I'm doing youth hockey, you're doing pro hockey, but you look at the Flyers, right? And there's some young guys like Zegras and Mishkov that have come over. Where can you help them off the rink? Like, obviously your accolades, right? You've been part of, so many championships, and the Flyers are, in a market that demands someone to win. Is this like an important factor to try to get this, to these younger guys quicker?
Yeah, sure. I'm another voice for the coaching staff. Every coach on our development staff is as well. You mentioned some names of some younger players that we have. Zegras kind of leading the charge off a huge game last night. 3-point effort for him. And I think that's kind of an underrated move that Danny and his staff made this offseason, was bringing in Trevor Zegras into Philly, giving him a real good opportunity to become the player that a lot of people thought he could be when we watched him torch Canada there with the World Junior team for Team USA. And he's off to a pretty good start to his career with the Flyers. He's been great, terrific in a lot of different areas. Where I can help is just kind of manage the season, come in when need be. We've got some younger players that are learning the grind of the 82 games, the travel, the practices. However I can lend a hand, I'm happy to do that. But where I really enjoy working is with our prospects, with Riley on the development staff, with the Phantoms, so that when our guys get to that NHL level, they're prepared for what's coming and there's no surprises.
So, Patty, I got to circle back to the Olympics, right? Like obviously we had chatted about this, I think last year when you were in town, just how good that team was and you're there and it's an Olympic year. Like, what does that mean as a player? I never got a chance to play in the Olympics. I loved it because I got to go on a cruise or go to a beach or hang out. But, like a superstar like yourself, you go to the Olympics. What is it like getting ready to play in an Olympics on top of the NHL schedule, right? Because it's something we talk about a lot with like the compressed schedule with the Olympics coming up this year.
Yeah, it was a lot. I remember, I guess it's a long time now. It was 2014. It was the last time that NHL players were able to go over and play. And Huts, you were with us in Chicago, I believe, in 2013, right, for the second Cup. So you were well aware of what was going on in Chicago and how every game seemed like it was a national broadcast. And we had guys going to all-star games. We had deep playoff runs every year, and it was really just perfect timing for myself to kind of get in the mix. If you would have said that, I would have been able to make that team at the start of my pro career, I don't think too many people would have taken that bet. But it's funny how things work out, and I was very thankful to be in a good spot in Chicago, and that helped me prepare and have a good start and a good season. I think you look across the league today, with it being an Olympic year again, and the league's fast right out of the gate here, right in October. It used to be the month where teams were getting rid of preseason habits and summer skates, a lot of odd man rushes and chances against for the goaltenders. And as the season goes along, things tighten up. Right now, maybe it's because the Olympic year, maybe it's because there's a huge injection of youth across the league. I'm not sure, but the league seems fast and dialed right now. So it feels like a lot of players maybe have Italy in sights. And as far as being in that tournament, it was just like, it was like going to an all-star game basically, but you get to hang out and be teammates in the dorms and have that 2-3 week experience with each other. Everywhere I looked, there was a captain for their NHL team. There was, quality people and superstars at the game in that room. So I tried to learn as much as I can, contribute when I could, and very thankful to be on that team, win a gold medal.
I know in basketball they have the dream team, but that 2014 Canada Olympic team was kind of dubbed the perfect team. You guys gave up 5 goals in the entire tournament. It was insane. Carey Price's numbers are like video game stuff, but there was a moment in the quarterfinals where it almost all came crashing down against Latvia, and Hutz and I were watching your goal in that game to go up 1-0, but people like, in the quarterfinals against Latvia, it was 1-1 with like 7 minutes to go. When you guys are in the locker room in the second intermission, I know it's 10 plus years ago here, I'm asking you to go back down memory lane, but like you have this loaded team, Weber, Doughty, all these superstars, and it's like, oh my God, it's 1-1 against Latvia. What was the vibe like in the room? Like, were you sitting there being like, there's no way this ends? Was there a confidence? What was it like?
I'm trying to think back. I'm pretty sure Latvia scored first in that game. They had like a pretty cool play they did off a neutral zone faceoff. Puck was on the defensive side of the neutral zone. They snapped a drawback, and then the defenseman closest to the bench like changed in the bench door, and then way down at the other end of the bench, a forward popped out and went for a breakaway. They went D to D and hit him for a breakaway. Other than that, the play I think was in Latvia's end. 75% of the game, it was like they were playing well. They were defending their butts off. I think the score was 1-0 for a long time, but I don't remember ever doubting confidence in the group. The effort was there. That team was stacked as far as structure and defensive play. We weren't winning games 7-0 or 7-2. They were all pretty tight games, but we sure didn't give up much. And when we did, it was Price in the net that was making huge saves. So the confidence never really wavered. Our team was playing good hockey. We just couldn't score. And I think I look back on that tournament, it was the Webers and Doughties that were scoring a lot of goals from the defense position. There was nobody really carrying the load offensively. It was just a well-structured team, and it was like impressive to watch, really.
Last one for me, Pat, before we let you go here. We obviously appreciate you coming on. The state of the Hawks. This is a market that's been through some struggles since your run there, the dynasty you guys had. What's your thoughts about Connor Bedard and the state of the Blackhawks? Obviously, I'm sure it's near and dear to you, even though you're working for the Flyers.
Yeah, I watch the games. I watch a lot of hockey, not just the Flyers and Phantoms and our prospects, but try to keep up as best I can. And the games this year seem way more exciting. I think you're getting a chance to see some younger players there that the team has penciled in being long-term Blackhawks. So that's exciting to see them at the beginning part of their careers. As far as Bedard, I met Bedard once and seemed like a really cool kid. Obviously watch and respect his game. And I just kind of chuckle at like all the outside noise around the kid. Like he's pretty darn good. And he was going through a tough situation as a rookie and was taking on top lines and top competition and actually performed pretty well. And as I'm learning with the Flyers in the player development process, like don't be too quick to make judgments on players. Like sometimes it takes these guys a little while to figure things out. And what I see from Bedard this year is a player that's very motivated, very fit, conditioned, hungry on pucks, and his skills taking over. So I think as the team gets better, all those individuals are going to start having great seasons, and it's just nice to see some excitement there in Chicago.
I like that you bring that up. Like players are getting into the NHL way younger than they were on a more regular basis than they were even, 10, 15 years ago. And I think about a guy like Trevor Zegras, who, he's only 24 years old and he gets cast away by Anaheim. And you guys are obviously all over that deal. But it's like people kind of forget he's 24. I mean, we talked about Kiefer Sherwood before you came on. This is a guy who's finally finding his game in his late 20s. Like sometimes that age factor, I feel like people are forgetting how important that is in all this.
Yeah, the development process doesn't really stop. Each player is different, obviously, and each player reaches like the pinnacle of their career at different points. Personally speaking, mine was at age 32 with that Canadian Olympic team that we were just talking about. So I got better, I think, every year, more comfortable, more confident. Whatever needed to be done, just keep getting better. As far as Trevor Zegras, he's been fun to watch. I know I play with Kaner, who's got some great hands and definitely deserves that reputation. But to watch Zegras in practice and even the games, skate with his head up, control the puck, distribute to his teammates, his skills that he has, like the trick show stuff that he puts on is like Swaggy P level. It's next level stuff. It's fun to watch. But what I've learned most about Trevor since he's joined the Flyers is how much he loves the game, how seriously he takes it. I think he takes some unfair criticism because he has a personality and he's willing to show that in media interviews. But when you put everything aside and watch the kid practice, prepare to be a player every night, it's remarkable. So we're happy to have him in Philadelphia. He's off to a great start. He's producing. The team's winning. Lots to like going on in Philly right now. And then Trevor's kind of doing an excellent job fitting in.
All right, Patrick, appreciate your time. Really thanks. Thanks for giving us some time, I should say, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, all right. Keep up the good work. Good to see you. Let's go Jays tonight, right?
You betcha, buddy. I can't wait.
Hey, hockey fans, if you enjoyed that video, then make sure you hit the subscribe button right here on the Daily Faceoff YouTube. We have you covered for everything you need. Exclusive interviews on The Sheet with Jeff Merrick, all the latest hockey news on Daily Faceoff Live, and you can always get your morning started with Johnny Lazarus and Colby Cohn on Morning Cup of Hockey. Don't miss a minute. Hit that subscribe button.